Vikki, tell us a little bit about what your caregiving journey looked like with challenging behaviors before you joined Dementia Care Made
Caregiver.
Easy. I'm sorry? Uh-oh.
Uh, I was caregiver for my boyfriend,
Ah,
and um, he kept packing to leave and wanting to go home, but where's home? And he didn't know. And then I joined the group because I didn't know what to do. I just was so overwhelmed, and I just felt so alone. And um, saw the group and thought, I was at that time trying to get as much information and knowledge as I could, just to help me learn how to deal with them and what to expect and that. And yeah, it helped me a lot just because I was trying to do everything and so tired and overwhelmed. And one of the first classes or whatever that I took, it was just he didn't want anybody else around. He didn't trust anybody else. And, I thought, well, I can't get any help. But it was just little things like people asking, if there was something I needed from the store. And I thought, why not? Like they couldn't go to the store. So it seemed like a little thing. It made them feel good. It helped me so much because I didn't have to worry about, rushing to the store and things like that. So, um, and then I guess I learned to talk to him where he was at, not to try to bring him to where I was at, what was real or what. In the end, he passed away in August, but in the end, he wasn't even, he was pretty nonverbal. He just would talk and it didn't make any sense. And I'd go, oh yeah, and he'd laugh, so I'd laugh. And my neighbor asked me, she's like, what's he talking about? And I was like, I don't know, but he's happy. It made him, he thought it was funny. So I guess it was funny to him, and I don't know. And it didn't matter, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard by yourself. So yeah, get as much help as and definitely as much knowledge as you can. This group helped me so much. I mean, it was a lifesaver to me. It was horrible.
yeah,
But
I know. I remember when you were first telling that story as well about your neighbor going to get groceries. I think the part that definitely really blew my mind about that piece of help is, you live in a pretty rural place, so that's a
yeah,
long trek for you to go out
yeah,
there. So that neighbor probably did a lot more than they even realized.
right. And then I didn't have any like his family didn't help, and they didn't believe there was anything wrong. And even right at the end, they accused me of making him sick and killing him. And you know, but you do your best, and I guess a lot of sad or frustrated, and then I say, kind of snap back, and then I'd feel bad, and I'd feel worse, because now I'm a horrible person, and but we're human too, and you know, I guess the good part is their memory in that respect, their memory, they don't remember that you were kind of a bitch to them. So it was like, okay, well, I'll use that one, But I'd feel so horrible, but I'd apologize, and then for what, because he didn't remember. But and then the driving, I struggled with that big time. But what I did is took the keys and took the ignition key off, and then I just dropped him by the couch, and he thought he'd lost him, and then he just kept trying different keys and none of them worked. So and then he'd forget and try them again, but at least he couldn't go anywhere. So that's kind of how I got through that one. But I don't know, yeah. And every day it's something different, you know. And then you think, well, I hope this behavior goes away, but it's probably going to be replaced with something worse. He did stop showering. I had to, I did sponge baths at the end. He did stop showering. He never wandered, which was good, but there are like door alarms, and there are things out there that, um, to help with that. But I was fortunate that he didn't start doing that or didn't get lost, but it does happen, I know. So,
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I would say honestly, uh, your situation was definitely a little unique in that since he was your boyfriend and you didn't have legal uh, legal things
Right.
around. So, I mean, my goodness,
Yeah, and
what was that like?
I can't stress that enough. If you're in a situation where you're a caregiver and you're not married, because I had to quit my job for him and everything, and then I was basically just screwed my dog. I was just screwed because I had no job. His family came and basically took the bank account and everything, so it was horrible.
Mm,
I did find, things happen for a reason, I guess, and I found the best job ever now and best boss I've ever had. So, yay.
oh,
But
good.
I was worried because I'm 62 as well, and I'm in a little town, so it's not easy to start over. And it is my house, so I don't have to worry about that at least. But yeah, the legal stuff, oh man, and legal medical power of attorney, things like that are so so critical, and it makes it so much easier because he always thought he was okay and he didn't need it, and then by the time he did, it was too late, and he couldn't because he wasn't of sound mind anymore. And so yeah, that's so important.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I know some of the questions in the chat were talking about, how do I do that type of stuff? And I'd say we're all with you, honestly. I know even myself and Jamie were
Yeah,
even looking into elder attorneys ourselves for our own
right.
parents. So, we're kind of all on this journey together when it comes to figuring this type of stuff out. Not that our folks are dealing with that at the moment, but
Right.
honestly, I think somebody out there had said a saying of either you've been a caregiver, a caregiver, or you're gonna be one.
Right.
You're gonna be one. I've been a
And then
professional caregiver.
yeah, and then in this town there's a lot of people. Well, I was working at an area agency for aging, so I was in a good job that I could learn as much as possible. Started a memory cafe. That's since I've quit there, but it is still going. So I'm really happy about that because there's a lot of people in this town that do have dementia and Alzheimer's and that, and they don't. It just never was talked about. It was just, and so I've met a whole bunch of people that are caregivers now, and but we are getting some resources in the town, so at least they can get some help. So and that's important too, just to for caregivers like the memory cafe. The idea was just to for caregivers to get away and maybe just have somebody else to talk to, basically like this group, and take, we had cake and donuts, and then we just discuss things, maybe do little crafts or but it was more of a just an outing, but it was basically for the caregiver was the idea, is just to get them out of the house for a bit and not just stuck by themselves their person. So, and the
Absolutely.
group is good too. Yeah, the group has been, like I said, so invaluable to me. Um, I just loved it, and it helped me a lot because it seemed like everything was timely. Like when I was worried about his driving, then there was a class about that, and then the sheets that I printed out and that. And like I said, the first sheet I printed, I remember because it said to reach out to other people. And I thought, well, I can't. And then I started thinking about it. And I believe in one of the groups, they said, well, maybe it's not to come into your house and do anything. Maybe it's something outside they could help you with. And that's what I ended up doing. And it helped me a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think too, it's so important for, I know in your town, you had to start the memory cafe because it wasn't there. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of us are in a situation where either it's just not possible for us to leave the house or it's just,
Right.
there's nothing there. We're isolated and on
Right.
our own. So I definitely
Right.
think the Zoom small groups are really huge when it comes to helping with that. And uh,
Right.
oh my goodness. And I know you took advantage of some one-on-one coaching as well. So I guess tell me
I did.
a little bit what your experience with getting some coaching looked like.
Well, sometimes, I mean, with the groups, like the groups are awesome. But it's kind of limited on, you try to do a couple minutes for each person, and um and the one-on-one, I don't know, there was just some things I didn't maybe feel comfortable talking about in the group, and because I don't know, I just felt like a big whiner, and especially because I was having so many difficulties with his family. The one-on-one did help me with, like legal kind of ideas, and just ideas, just kind of brainstorming with you about things. And I love you. I think you're awesome, but it helped me a lot just because some things, I don't know, you just don't want to really share with everybody. I don't know.
That's fair. That's definitely fair. Yeah. And I
Yeah,
mean, honestly, what was there too is, sometimes people think coaching has to be one specific way. I know one of our last ones that we did together, I think you were just telling me your feelings towards the end of it. So
yeah,
like, hey, you know what, if you just want to vent to someone privately, you want to get resources, you want to get
yeah,
specific steps, I'm here for whatever we need is great.
yeah.
Absolutely. Man, well, any last thoughts or advice to give to everybody?
I guess just just remember you're not alone. There's so many people dealing with this, so many, and so many people in caregiver roles um, that are going through the same thing. And you're not perfect. It's okay. You learn from your mistakes, and you and don't sweat. Pick your battles, because a lot of it, I just realized, I'd get frustrated, and it was like, in the grand scheme of things, does this really matter?
Sure.
And it really didn't. Yeah, if his shirt was inside out, or it was like, oh well, you know. So kids wear
Sometimes,
two colored socks, and they're okay. I mean, that's fashion. So, maybe they're starting a new fashion trend,
there you go.
but and I know they can show time like crazy. Like, you take them to the doctor, and they act, and it's for a very short period of time, and they act fine. And then they're looking at you like, and you feel like everybody thinks you're making it up or exaggerating. In his case, and then it gets to the point where they can't anymore. They aren't
Mm,
able to. So then, but by then they're in such a later stage but what I found is that people, as I got closer to people, and always thought maybe I was exaggerating, and maybe I was being overly dramatic about how I felt about it. And a lot of people told me, no, you're understating it, because he was far worse than I was letting people
mm,
know. And it's okay. It's okay to vent. It's okay to ask for help. It's also okay to get a weekend away, because you need to look after you too.
absolutely.
And yeah, and we're not superheroes, and we can't do everything, and that's okay, you know. So just, yeah, don't beat yourself up, and yeah, and honestly, bless you all, because I would not wish this on my worst enemy. I would not. It's a horrible, horrible disease, and it's painful to watch. And I used to just feel bad for him, because how horrible for him to, for them to go through you know, what was a great mind and a great sense of humor, and to watch that basically die. Um, it was awful, So yeah, bless you all. Like, good job, and you're doing great.
Absolutely. Well, Miss Vicky, thank you so much for joining us.
Okay,
Thank you
thank
for being
you.
patient with the
Sorry.
technology.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I thank you for being patient with that technology. My goodness. I don't know, man.
oh,
I
it's
don't
okay.
know, but I
What I
appreciate
I
you.
got on the phone, and there was a little link that said ask to be included
Nice.
on the video. So and it wasn't on any of my other devices. So yeah, the phone did work.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
All right, Miss
All right.
Vicky.
Thank
So
you.
good to see you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
All right. Anyways, my friends, again, we now know, we see the link. So if you would like to join our caregiver community, the doors are closing for it tomorrow at midnight. So if you are just like, yes, this community is for me. I want the cheat sheets. I want the resources. I want the guest Q&A. I want the personalized videos that are specific to my situation. I know Vicky was calling them timely. If you want to have cheat sheets, I know if there's a super specific situation that I think a bunch of people can benefit from, I'll probably create a cheat sheet in your honor about your situation. Yay, Susan, welcome and just joining. Then definitely click the link above. That will get you to dementiasuccesspath.com/dementia caregiving made easy. All right, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and hopefully I'll see you on the other side. All right. Bye, guys.